Don't call me Terry.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
Yeah, I knew you were. I got you. I figured that was the line for
That was the line. Oh, and by the way, Will Fridley's delivery of said line, hot damn. Like, dude.
Yeah, good. It's good. I mean, because this is an interesting episode. And by the way, hello, everybody. Welcome to DC Fan-imated. We are not live, but this is premiering live. So if you want to chat, of course, chat. I'll be in the chat.
I will not be in the chat.
Huh?
I will not be in the chat.
He will not be in the chat because Scott is getting some surgical things happening,
to my mouth, which would make it really hard to do a stream when
although it would be pretty funny, especially if you're all like, doped up on something.
The thing is that I'll be off the anesthesia by that point, but I will be swollen. I will be eating yogurt and smoothies and who know, probably taking some antibiotics and all kinds of fun stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, so, all kinds of good stuff. But yeah, so we're pre-recording this, but of course we're still going to be talking about this Batman Beyond episode called Final Cut. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, whatever you're doing, and spending some time with us. This is an interesting episode simply because with Max added to the fold, to the team, I guess you could say, unwillingly, because Bruce doesn't exactly want her there, but she gets humbled in this episode.
This is a really good, this is a Max episode, kind of like Hooked Up. It's one where Max tries to get herself more involved, and then she fucks up because she tried to get herself more involved. But then it also kind of works to bring Terry and Max closer together as partners in a way that we've been discussing how Bruce and Terry have been getting there. With Bruce and Terry, there's been mutual respect developing in this season, while Max is kind of learning what it's like to be part of the Bat family, even sort of a periphery of the Bat family. Because she doesn't work with Bruce, but Terry works with her. It's interesting. I think for an episode that's kind of some fun, some superhero antic fun. The way we're watching this, and I think this is just a nice little milestone in Max being more of the team.
Yeah, and it's partially like the way you just said that right there, because when you watch this episode, you kind of go, oh, we got this returning character. We got Kurare showing back up.
You were almost there. I was
almost there. Kurare.
No, Q is a U in there. Kurare. Even I fucked it up.
See, now you can't.
Kurare. Yes.
Kurare. Yeah. Close enough.
Q.
Kurare.
You sound like you're Stewie from Family Guy. Q.
Yeah.
Q.
You want some Stewie jerky? Yeah. Kurare, whatever. But yeah, when we got this return of her, because the last time we saw her, obviously we had the Society of Assassins, and the last time we saw her, she got away, and then we didn't kind of know, okay, what was going to happen with her.
We just knew the Society of Assassins was going to be hunting her down because she failed in her assignment.
Yes.
So it was like, yes, you got away from the police, but we're not going to deal with you for a while because you're going to be too busy running for your life from all of your, former partners.
Yeah, exactly. So to have her, I mean, when you're thinking about like a return of a character like that, you almost want to like, oh, maybe we're going to get some more about her, more in depth that character. But no, they kind of brought her back in an episode that gets more, it's more invested in Max.
Yes,
and it's her, and that part was a little disappointing rewatching this because I don't remember.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Okay.
I understand why you would be disappointed. Like, you're hoping to learn more about this character, but she's such a mysterious character. She's one of those characters that you almost want her to stay mysterious because you don't want her to be like.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's
But
like it's like people with the Joker. You
oh yeah,
don't really know. No, it's like the weird thing with the animated series is I feel like the animated series, the Killing Joke aside, because the Killing Joke, we can almost Alan Moore almost cheats and let us know that we get a version of Joker's origin that may be complete bullshit,
yeah,
but the animated series comes the closest, I think, to when I say successfully gives us backstory in the Joker, it's like no, basically what we get in Mask of the Phantasm,
yeah.
explains enough about who he was before the accident that we go, okay,
That's it. That's all we need.
that tracks. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, we're good. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and you're right. Nobody really, and naturally, when it came to like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I mean, that wasn't. It was a different version, and there is an origin story, there is something there, but that's not necessarily. What we end up basically seeing with that Joker is that anyone can become
the
this
Joker.
symbol.
Yeah,
Yeah, which I think that's what he was going for, and that was trying to represent. Now, whether or not you feel that he landed with that when it came to the sequel, that's up to you. I still enjoyed it. I still
me
thought it
too.
was.
Yeah,
I still thought it was like a very interesting approach, and I still really enjoyed Joker 2, but it just didn't. I think it just didn't. I think trying to. I don't know. There's some we can go on a whole fucking thing
but
just talking about.
when you've got those villains that are
Yeah,
mysterious, there's the power is in their mystery,
yeah,
and you don't want it to get explained because once it gets explained, it's like they're real and
yeah,
they're no longer like Curare is still like, what the fuck are you? Like,
yeah.
like the weirdest thing we've got is from that her first appearance in A Touch of Curare when Terry rips the mask off. We don't see what her face looks like, but we see Terry's reaction to what her face
Right.
looks like.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. So there's like they kept that. Yeah. So I see what you're saying, but I mean, maybe it was just a little bit me and just wanting just a little bit more, but I get it. And to use the opportunity to, again, humble Max, I guess you could say a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. And
It's not even humbling Max. It's more like giving Max a reality check. It's like,
yeah,
this is what superhero work is like.
yeah. And I mean, right off the bat, obviously we have, with the opening scene, of course, it's either, it's funny. It's either a dock and a ship is showing up, it's a truck showing up to dock, or it's a plane landing.
Landing kind of
It's
extra.
always like you can always guarantee like there's always a few different things of like how the opening, the opening's going to be to hook you into the story, and naturally we get this plane showing up, and we got the maintenance workers that are basically having to replace like this solar disc that's on the bottom. Then I
Yeah,
guess
the
that
solar
operates on
cells.
solar
Yeah.
cell. There you go. And again, we get a guy, a bald. Is this the same bald guy with the freaking eye thing? I mean,
It's a different bald guy with an eye thing.
it's like
It's
what the? It's like it's so funny
clear,
because last
clearly
week,
it's a fashion statement.
yeah, last
50
week
years
we had a bald guy with like this robotic eye monocle,
monocle thing.
yeah, but it was a different color. It was red with the other guy, green with this guy. But I mean, it just seems like, hey, if you want to have some kind of shady character that's going to be running some things, it's going to be important, got to be bald, and he's got to have this thing on his eye.
Yeah,
And it's
we need
a
the
long coat.
cybernetic monocle, which is what I'm
Yeah,
calling it. I'm
that's a good. That's good.
I think firmly in the camp of this is a cybernetic monocle.
I
This is
like
like
it.
Penguin, with his little with his little monocle right there, except for it's like attached. Kind of like in did you ever okay, sorry, tangent, but speaking about monocles. Okay, you played the Arkham games, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember when Penguin shows up in Arkham City?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever notice what his quote monocle was in that game?
No, I don't.
It was a broken bottle shoved into his shoved around
Oh,
his
that's
eye.
right. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was unique. That was a
It was
unique.
very unique. So I'm
Yeah.
saying, going, you know what? I'll take the cybernetic guy. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah, but it's just funny how because it's like 2 in a row that we get this.
Yes, it is. That's a good point you make.
I was like, well, okay, and I'm like going, okay, is this the same guy? Is this going to mean something? No, it's just somebody who was part of the Society of Assassins that, of course, she's going to go after, and naturally we get the whole, cool little shot of her like underneath something. I forgot exactly what it was, but then all of a sudden she her eyes kind of light up, and then all of a sudden she moves.
It was a
real
truck.
quick.
It was
Yeah, it
like
was
the
like some kind
maintenance
of
truck.
Yeah. And then of course she grabs onto the landing gear, and then we get introduced to another character called Buta. Is it Butra? Butro?
Okay,
Butra?
Mutro
Mutra.
Botha. Mutro
Bota.
Botha.
Bota. Mutra Butha. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that.
You know,
So his
you
name
got
is
it. You nailed it.
Butha? Yeah,
Butha.
Butha.
Yes.
Butha. Okay. Because I was like, okay, I was trying to. I put Buta. I didn't think
So did I.
Yeah.
And then I made
So,
sure, but then they kept on calling him Mutro for
yeah.
the rest of the episode. So I made sure to look at the credit. I didn't need the credits to tell me who the voice was because I knew exactly who the voice was.
Who's the voice?
Do you not know?
I didn't know. I'm gonna be disappointed.
You'll be so disappointed. You'll be so disappointed.
God damn it.
You ready?
Is it gonna be Michael Rosenbaum again?
That was not Michael. No. Okay.
Oh boy.
Dave, it was Tim Curry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Was it really?
It's Tim Curry. Yeah.
What? Tim
Yes.
Curry? How come I just didn't? Oh man, I want to go back and listen. I'm
Yeah.
like, really?
Yes.
Because it didn't sound that familiar. Like it was like maybe
no,
that's
because Tim Curry,
he does.
He will do that. He will do it sort of the Slavic.
See, that's the thing. He does. That's how. Okay. So you know what? I'm not gonna feel bad for myself, Scott.
Oh no! You do not. No, you don't get.
No. You know why? You know why? Because the fact that I didn't know it was Tim Curry just shows how much of a talent that guy is.
Yeah.
That's how I'm running with that right there. Okay. I'm running with that right there. He's so good that I couldn't spot his voice. So there you go. Cheers, Tim Curry. Cheers to him. Yeah, you like that shit, didn't you?
That was good. That was such a reach around, but you know what?
Totally was. But I'm sticking with it because that's not nearly as bad as my LeVar Burton one. Okay. That one was
Burton
because that sounded just like him.
LeVar Burton.
Yeah. Okay. This one, at least, it's Tim Curry doing
a voice, right? But
yes.
It's really funny is that this is like this sort of Slavic Russian kind of accent is like one of his go-to, like for all the voiceover animation work that Tim Curry has done, because dude has done a lot. And it's interesting. I just learned this. I mean, I've known about his stroke because I've seen pictures of him since his stroke, but I did not realize that it hasn't. While it affects him physically, it hasn't affected his voice. So he's still out there doing voice work.
He's still out there doing conventions and appearances.
Yes, he is.
When I went to go see went to go see I can't remember the comedian now. Carr. What the hell? Carr, what's his first name? I can't remember his first name. Anyways, the comedian Carr. His last name's Carr. I can't remember his first name for some reason. I saw there was like a posting at that same venue and it's already passed now that the cast of goddamn, my brain is just not working right now. What's the big movie that he was in?
Rocky Horror Picture.
Yeah, they were showing up to do like some kind of thing there, and he was going to be there. And I remember even like turning to my mom and going, "Oh man, Tim Curry's still freaking out there doing this. Look at that." I looked. I was like, "Look, I mean, he had a stroke. He's like wheelchair bound. He's not, but he's still out there doing this stuff." That's
because it hasn't affected his brain. It hasn't affected his mental capacity. It hasn't affected his ability to speak. It's just affected his body.
Yeah. So he's still very much, he's pretty sharp still.
Yes.
Jimmy Carr. That's who I was like, God, I couldn't remember his first name. Jimmy Carr, very well-known comedian, which I know a lot of people know about. But anyways, I saw that and I went, man, guy's still out there doing it. He still goes to conventions. You've even seen, you can look online and see him interacting with people. He's still there. Physically, he's just can't do anything, but he's still there. He's still, and yeah, man. I mean, so I'm still sticking with that. I don't care what anybody says. Moving on. So we get Butha.
Butha. Mutro Butha.
Yeah. Mbucho Butha. Okay. So he calls this mysterious bald man with the cybernetic monocle.
Yeah, his official credited name is Assassin Leader.
Assassin Leader. Nice.
Nice, I know, right? They spent a lot of time on that one.
And, he makes a phone call to him, and he's letting him know that other guys have been wiped out by her. And then, of course, naturally, she starts wiping out people on the plane, and then they have a little standoff. He pulls out a gun, but that's not going to work. It's not going to work.
We know that was going to work. We saw that. We saw how lasers just bounce off whatever that magic sword. It's not magic, I know, but
but it's magic when she works it, I guess you could say. She works her magic. And then we get this whole thing where she just kind of throws a capsule at him that splatters this kind of chemical on his chest. And at first you go, did she just freaking kill him?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he falls down. He's like, and then his eyes just glaze over, and he's just sit there. He's just there, and you just go, "Oh my God!" They just showed she just killed that guy. But we come to find out that when they're looking at it, or we just basically find out that what she's doing is wiping out memories. So that person's just basically a vegetable at that point.
Yeah, it feels kind of cheap. It's like, come on, just standards and practices.
That's what it was. See, it was a standards and practice. I figured that too. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's why it shocked me. I'm like, did they just show that? Because obviously, with our time doing this show is the fact that we've talked about that and how they get away with certain things, which of course then made itself be known this past weekend with Predator Badlands, which we've spoken about too, which a lot of people had some hissy fits about. But then we were kind of like, hey, we've been talking about this for the last 4 years about how you can get away with different ratings.
Things, right?
Yeah, and we talked about it on the Vodka stream as well. We were just like, I mean, William brought up a good point. He goes, I don't know how anybody can be disappointed in Predator Badlands because, in that third act, when he's effing up all the synthetics, it's exactly how he would do it to a human, but it's not humans.
Right.
It's not
it's just white blood. That's
everything
all it is.
There's people being dismembered, heads getting ripped off. There's all kinds of things that happen throughout, but it's not humans.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's all the rating system worries about.
Yes, which is so
it's such bullshit.
It's such bullshit, and that's what we also said too, because William was going PG-13 rating is bullshit. He's all, it's always been bullshit. It's and yeah. So I mean, it's just one of those things. But yeah, that's where they're kind of, because when it comes to Batman Beyond, what we said is like, yeah, they've pushed it a little bit, even though that that's not initially what Fox wanted. Like you said, they wanted to make a more of a kid-friendly show, but this one's been not as kid-friendly because there has been like, oh yeah, we know that person that person died or something like that.
Right.
Been a little darker, because usually with Superman or Batman the animated series, you always see like the person land, or you see them,
or they go, ugh. It's always the
Yeah, exactly. So at first you go, oh my God. But then of course, yeah, this is kind of like a little cheap way of like,
it's a cheat.
Right.
It's a complete cheat.
He's an assassin. She would just off these guys like 100%, as opposed to just, let me throw this capsule at you, and then you're kind of a vegetable, and your
right, because the green looks like this should be like acid, like away at them, and instead it's the fumes that they're inhaling that make them like go. Did you like that? That was a good
reenactment. I liked it. I really did. So see, you're good. See, well, I mean, he is an actor, folks.
I am an actor. Yes,
he is an actor. He's an actor.
Recovering actor now. By the way, weird thing. A couple of weeks ago, I finally figured out how long it's been since I've done a show.
How long?
15 years.
Wow. Damn.
Because it was the Alabama-South Carolina game, and they talked about when we went to South Carolina and they beat us. I remember that game because I was doing a show, so I was in the dressing room and listening to the show, listening to the game, and us getting our asses handed to us. And they're like, "Yeah, this was back in 2010." So I went, "Oh, so it's been 15 years since I've done a show. Okay,
Wow.
good to
Great.
know."
Time flies. And then naturally she takes on some of the other guys, and then she just slices the door open, flies out, and then she has like a little jetpack thing, and it's like, all right, she gets away, does all that stuff. And then of course that's when they let it be known that, oh yeah, memory wiped and blah blah blah. Just to let everybody know,
You're not
hey,
dead.
not
You're
dead,
not
don't
dead.
worry.
I'm not quite dead yet.
And then of course we get Terry flying around the Batmobile, and he's talking to Max. And then this is where we get to like, okay, because there is no Bruce Wayne in this episode. Now, that does give you a little bit of worry because we have talked about how when there's lack of Bruce, sometimes it's like, the episode kind of, when you get that lack of that back and forth, that chemistry, it can cause the episode to suffer.
However,
yeah.
this is a great exception to show
Yeah.
that Terry and Will Fridley can hold an episode on his own. We don't need Kevin Conroy there to like bail the episode out. So
That's true, especially when you can write something good. And then, of course, bouncing off of Max, which, of course, they establish right away because he's just talking to Max. And then they, of course, let it be known that Bruce is in Malaysia and there's a typhoon happening. So he's incommunicado, essentially. So,
yeah, that was a really hand wavy thing to be like, we need to get rid of Bruce for an episode. So,
and we got a little bit of time. We got a lot of things going on that we want to get here. So let's just do it right away. Where,
he's in Malaysia for reasons that they do not explain.
Yeah,
and
then Max just goes, "Oh yeah, did you know there's a typhoon that's happening there?" And then of course Terry's like, he's kind of liking it because now it's like, "Hey, I'm on my own. I don't have to have him in my ear for a couple of days.
I get to be Batman all on my own.
I get to be me." And then of course he's like, "Yeah, I think I can handle it." And sure enough, he gets like shot at, and of course it's by Butha. It's like, because that's who he's there to, that's why he's in Gotham, that they established when he was talking to the phone to the assassin leader guy, monocle cyborg guy.
Cyborg monocle guy.
Yeah. So he's, he established that he is in Gotham to, for a reason, for a target. And that target is Batman, but not to kill him because he fires at him. And then, of course,
if I wanted you dead, you would be dead.
That's a good Russian accent. You do a good Russian.
I have watched many a spy movie in my day.
Man. I remember one time, man, this is a tangent, and you just fired a memory in my head. This is like 12 years ago when I was, my career path that I've chosen, where I was like, it was like my first job, office job, when it came to this, and I had to deal with like a city engineer, and this was like a city engineer up north in California, and I look at his name. His name was Vladimir. Yes. And I'm just like, wow, Vladimir, that's a pretty interesting name. Shit you not, had that voice. Sounded like the James Bond villain. Like we were talking. I mean, I'm like
Robbie Coltrane and Goldeneye.
Dude, it was insane. Like I remember like being on the phone with him, and I got off and I was like telling my coworkers, I'm like, dude, I was like talking to a James Bond villain. He was like, David, I think we can do this right here. You might need to change. I was like losing my mind. I'm like, when I read his name, I'm like, there's no way. And then, man, the voice just fit with the fucking name. Vladimir.
I'm sorry. My favorite way to do the Russian accent was Robbie Coltrane in Goldeneye. Go,
yes.
Walther PPK. I only know 3 men who use such a gun. I do believe I've killed 2 of them.
Oh, man. Oh, I got to rewatch Goldeneye. I love that movie.
Oh, my God. Tell me about it. By the way, do you know that movie is 30 years old this year?
That's insane. It's insane. It's insane to think about. Well, dude, my brother was watching Casino Royale, and he was like going, man, this came out in the height of like Texas Hold'em. I'm like, fuck. That was in 2000 what?
Six.
7? 6. Yeah.
2006 was Casino Royale. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and I'm like,
remember
that was
because
almost 20 years ago.
I
Oh.
bought a poker book. I bought Playboy's Guide to Poker so I could learn the rules of Texas Hold'em so that I could follow it while watching the movie. And damn
Yeah.
it if it didn't work because
Oh, of
I
course.
understood everything that was happening.
Yeah. No, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, you just reminded me of good old Vladimir. And
Vladimir.
I had to call him a couple of times, and it was just so like it was just blowing my mind talking to him. Like, yes, I think we could change it right here if you just make an adjustment to your prints. Oh man, it was great. Anyway, back to it. So yeah,
Botha. So we hit with
yeah,
Botha, and he
Buta.
shoots
Yeah,
and he shoots
Buta.
at Terry. And now, by the way, I do want to give Terry this is such a badass move. I love the way that he throws two batarangs at the gun. One batarang knocks the gun out of both
Yeah.
his hands, and then he throws the other batarang was thrown at just the right angle, so that when the gun goes flying out of his hand, the other batarang, destroys the gun. It's like ping
Boom,
pow.
boom. Oh yeah,
It was
that's
a great
he's
little
been
1-2.
training. He's been training. That's for sure. And then of course, Buta just kind of says like, hey, I love it what he says too. When he gives his name, and then of course Terry's like, oh, that's Society of Assassins. He's like, I am the Society of Assassins. He says that he is like, and like,
And
oh,
he's
you're
the
part of
only
the
one
Society.
left.
Yeah, he's like, I am. So that was a good line right there. I love that delivery. I am the Society of Assassins. It was like, ooh. And then of course he explaining that I'm already saying her name wrong. Kurari. You.
Curare.
You.
Curare.
Kirari. Man, I
There
had a
you
problem the
go.
first
There you
time.
go.
Huh.
Okay.
Kirari.
How long is it going to take? Okay, this is
Yeah,
going to be funny.
Kirari.
Oh,
Kirari.
there you go. When you
I
don't
got it. I
think
got
about
it.
it, when you don't
Kirari.
think about it, you
You
get it
know,
right.
that's the
That's it.
thing. I overthink it. But he explains that yeah, she's going around wiping out everybody, and then as soon as she wipes out everybody, who do you think she's going to go after next? And of course, it's going to be him because
She stomped
he's
him.
the one that intervened. Like with everything that happened the last
I
time.
like the way you slipped that in there. That was very well played. There's
What?
intervene. You
Oh
threw
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
intervene in right there. It's
Yes,
like
I always got to put the intervene in there, man. I got to make a T-shirt that says Batman intervene.
intervenes.
I might have to do that. Yeah. Yeah, so he talks about that. He's like, oh yeah, it's your fault that all this stuff kind of happened. Of course Terry's just like whatever. But and then of course, yeah, it's like and then Butha just kind of goes, hey, you got to help me or else, and then pulls out that little detonator, of course, with a timer that's counting down. That's never a good thing.
Never a good thing. Never a good thing.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
he's got to be able to punch in the code every 12 hours. It's kind
Yeah.
of like his insurance policy.
Which
Of
is
course,
good. Good sense.
he's an assassin, so I knew he wasn't bullshitting because it's like, nah, you
Yes.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, he don't give a shit about anyone. So
So he had
basically,
a great line that was like, I don't put in the code, and boom, Gotham experiences a population decline.
yeah, that was good. Population decline. Yeah, that was good. So basically, yeah, he planted a bomb somewhere in Gotham, and if Batman doesn't help, then guess what? He gets killed. He's the only one that knows the code. Gotham is scared. So yeah, so we get that, and he has to help him, and blah blah blah. So then, of course, Terry is at Max's apartment, and basically they're talking. He tells him, like, tells her like about the bomb and how much time they have, and then she's like, "I want to help," and he goes, "Find my partner." And I totally didn't even think about it. Like I was like, "Oh yeah, she does not know it's Bruce Wayne," but of course she knows it's Bruce Wayne.
But I also appreciate how Terry was like, yeah, that wasn't a stretch, was it?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, because basically Terry is just going like, yeah, find my partner and everything, and like I never told you his name, and then she's just like, oh, could it be Bruce Wayne? And then he stops his tracks, and then he goes, yeah, that probably was, yeah. It's like, of course, and I love the fact that he was, that they had that written like that, and they didn't do like the opposite. Where it's like, how did you know? It's like,
How did
no,
you know? I like no, there's like,
very
yeah,
obvious,
very obvious.
especially with someone like Max, who's extremely smart.
Like, really, if anyone knows that
Yeah,
Terry is Batman,
yeah,
who do you think is
yeah.
hooking
It's
him
like
up?
it's very well known that Terry is working with Bruce Wayne. That's
Right, that
publicly
was
known.
actually like the whole point was Terry needed a job
Yeah.
and he needed social cover for why he, you know, they made it very public for a reason,
Yes.
but being that public also means that it's not hard to put two and two together if you know
Exactly.
one thing.
Yeah. And so Terry just says, like, yeah, find Bruce. But of course, Max wants to do more. She's like all about like, no, I can help you with, trying to figure out what's, where the bomb is, and we can like distract Butha and everything. But Terry's just like, no, just find Bruce. That's all I need you to do. But of course, we all know that Max is not going to just do that. Of course not, because why would she? And probably a good thing. It is a good thing because it ends up.
It does end up working out,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's not without some cost.
of course, which is always going to be the case. So then, of course, he shows back up to Batman shows up with Butha, and then he's in like a little, he gets out of his hotel room and walks out. He's, of course, Terry's doing his little stealthy thing, which of course we always say he should do more of.
Why is that camouflage like always on?
Yeah, I know. Maybe it requires too much power. I don't know.
But you know what? Didn't say that.
Yeah, I know, right?
That.
It drains the suit's power. You can't use it, for too long. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that would work. So then, of course, they leave.
In a video game, that would be what happened.
Totally.
You'd have that little bar, and then you have to wait for it to recharge. Like that's
yeah, you'd have something in the corner that would show you that, and then it would show you that, oh, back in the green. Then you could cloak again. So yeah, that's definitely be a video game thing. You're 100% right about that. So
why they haven't made a Batman Beyond game yet?
That should be the next, like, technically Arkham game. Just do the fucking Arkham City in the future.
Yeah, do Batman.
You already have the skin. I've seen the skins. You already can play the skin of.
And there's two different skins. There's the Arkham City skin, and then there's the Arkham Knight skin. And I'm not a fan of the Arkham Knight skin. It's way too like armory for my taste. I love the skin that's in Arkham City because it's really just like Batman Beyond. It's just very sleek. But yeah, that should totally be the next. Like, do Batman Beyond in the Arkhamverse. Like, come on.
And then you have, I know, but the only thing that sucks is you're not going to have Kevin Conroy do Bruce.
No, you have Kevin Conroy. No.
Yeah, because you have to have Bruce in that game, and you're not going to have Kevin Conroy. And it's like, And by the way, 3 years. There was 3 years yesterday. No, yeah, yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah. 3 years yesterday. Can't believe that. Crazy,
It still hurts.
Yeah. When you think about it, you go, oh my God. And then, I retweeted Tara Strong's tweet yesterday, which was like, it hits you right in the feels, where she goes like, 3 years ago, you were taken away, or you left me, but you're still here with me. And then, of course, posting pictures, because obviously they had a very close relationship because they worked together so many times. And yeah, it was just like, I was like going, fuck, it's been 3 years. That's just crazy. Crazy to think about, man.
Jeez.
So, but may he rest in peace still, and still the best Batman. Best Bat voice,
He was Batman. He was Batman.
He's what most of us hear when we read a Batman comic book, for sure. But I think that could be part of, a reason. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, you want to do that, but you have to have Bruce in your ear. And it would just feel weird if you didn't have Kevin Conroy as that voice. That's what sucks. That it was almost like it was like a missed opportunity of having an Arkham game that was in the future, and you're constantly hearing Kevin Conroy, talk to you and stuff. Oh man, that would have been such a cool game. Fuck.
That would have been a cool game.
And have and then have Will, what's his last name? Friedley, whatever. Just obviously voice Terry. I'm sure he would have 100% done that. Man, they missed out on that. Why? What the fuck? But it's okay.
Anyway. No, they had to go off and do Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Yeah, which that flopped. Good Lord.
Oh God, I do not understand. I mean, I understand business wise why people like live service games. I am not into a live serve. I don't like live service. It's like, no, just give me the game. Just make the game. Why everyone goes nuts over the Indiana Jones game? It's like, yeah, just give me a game. Like, like I don't need seasons being rolled out. I don't need things that I purchase. It's like I want to buy the game and I want to play the game. We're good.
Simple. That's that's a concept that's been working since the beginning of video games. I just want to just release the game and I'll play the game. You don't need to do all this special weird shit. But of course they try
none of this Fortnite, not all this Fortnite crap. No.
But anyway, so then we see Max as they leave. Max, of course, shows up. And then, Max being crafty, she comes up with a story to get the hotel room unlocked, basically saying that her dad, lost the key card and all this kind of stuff. And then the bellhop who lets her in, obviously is expecting a tip. And then she just...
Oh, but wait, I think we've complained about this before, but what is it with in shows where the bellhop, like, does the cough thing? It's like, oh, fuck off. No.
Yeah. It's such a tropey thing. I mean, anybody
who's going to do that, because either you're going to give the tip or you're not, and you're going to do it subtly. Like,
you don't demand
offer a tip. It's always
I think it all started with Home Alone 2 and Rob Schneider doing his little like, when he would like hold it up. And of course, I loved it, because Kevin would just give him gum. It's like, yeah, that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. But yeah, it's like nobody should be expecting a tip. You
don't do it like that. And what you do is you do what everyone does. I take a bill, I palm it, I give him a handshake, and and the money exchange, literally money exchanges hands. Like that's how you do that.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like a public thing. You're supposed to be like, all right, here you go, man. Just like that. And you can do that. I mean, it's not you're not at a restaurant, you're not doing this. It's like one of those, like, hey, you really helped. Thank you for your service. Yeah, you do a little swift handing of a 10 or a 20 or a couple of 5s. I don't know, depending on how good they did. But of course, this time this is the future, so he's holding a fucking, like
swiper,
Yeah. So he's like, hey, and then she's just like, all right, and then swipes, and then is very generous apparently.
I was kind of curious how how she never had an opportunity to like input an amount. So I'm sitting here going like.
She just swiped it. Here, get away. And then Max proceeds to do the worst search of the room ever. I was going, okay, you need to just search and make sure that, you're discreet. But she's doing the whole pulling the clothes out, throwing them, and just making the room a mess.
Yes.
Letting it be known that somebody has searched the room. And it's like, what are you doing, Max? You're so smart, yet you don't care about not.
That was my only really big complaint about the episode was why would Max search a room like a 10-year-old tearing the room apart?
It was so. I was like going. I was like, what are you doing, Max? This is not. I said, Max digs through the room in the worst way. That's what I put down as my notes. In the worst way. And then, as she can't find anything, she even. There's like a chocolate bar or like a candy bar. She eats the chocolate and then just tosses the trash, and it bounces off the little wastebasket. And then she's like, wait a minute. And then she dumps the wastebasket on the floor, finds a cash card, and goes, and that's something right there, which again, and then I go, hey, Buta, you're really going to just toss away your cash card in the wastebasket? You shred that thing. What are you doing? Because has memory in it.
We've already seen, once again, from Hooked Up. Hooked Up showed us how Max can read the previous purchases, can read the purchase history off a cash card.
Yeah. This is the worst scene of the whole episode because it's too convenient. Max is too just lollygagging, like, it's everything's just a little too. They could have maybe figured out a better way. I don't know, but I didn't really
lazy.
Like it.
That's
lazy. This part is
lazy.
This part is really lazy, sadly. But then, of course, Kurare. Close enough.
Close enough. We'll keep going. We'll just
Kurare.
There we go. Yep. Okay, no, it's the second time. You usually get the second time.
Kurare. I know. See, I overthink it too much. She shows up. naturally. And then she attacks. And then of course, obviously, Terry's with Butha and talking to her and saying that she didn't find anything, but then of course maybe found something. And of course, when it came to the cash card, but then Curare shows up and starts attacking, doing the whole thing. I mean, it's essentially like a horror slasher movie.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah, excuse me. Ooh, I'm allergic to swords. Sword talk. No, but yeah, it's basically like a horror movie because I mean Curare is not doing like her normal assassin stuff. It's mainly just like now we're just in a slasher film where we're just like, we gotta just stabbing through the door.
Which, by the way, never stand next to the door with someone who has a stabbing object.
Oh, I know. When she gets in the bathroom and then just like closes the door and then leans up against it again, Max, what are we doing here? And then of course the sword comes right through it, almost slicing her nose off. And then of course she hides in the shower, like that's gonna do anything. But then of course we're thinking that there is a cool little shot where it does look like she actually stabs her. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And it was like so you see like the shadow where it looks like she does stab Max, and you go, "Oh my god!"
But just the Ottoman.
Yeah, and then it cuts to, oh, she actually stabbed the Ottoman. It was like, but that was pretty crafty. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Even though, okay, but the sword gets stuck in the Ottoman. I've seen this thing slice through solid metal. You think somebody gets stuck in an Ottoman? Okay.
Again, this scene is pretty lazy.
Yes,
let's face it. This was a very lazy scene. And then naturally, when he's hearing all this, he's hearing Max being attacked. Terry's just like, I got to go back to the room. And he heads back, and then he finds her like, just kind of like, in the tub, like, of course, crying and shivering and all this stuff. And it's like,
by the way, kind of a callback to Casino Royale, kind of like Vesper at the in the shower after the
Casino Royale, right?
The hallway fight. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, good old Eva Green.
Wow.
My God, beautiful woman. Anyways, I will never forget that Sin City 2 poster. All right. Yes, that's just a poster that just, even though the movie didn't do much, that poster was everything. It was like a poster that was like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Why don't you know what you're talking about? That would be my question.
Yeah, I know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just type in Evergreen Sin City 2. You'll see exactly what the poster we're talking about. They knew exactly what they were doing with that poster.
I have that poster. I'm sure that's.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, where we're at. So he gets back.
Because he gets with Max, and that leaves Butha by himself. Because the whole point, I think, was they were supposed to be walking around Gotham trying to draw Curare out.
Yeah.
And now, because Terry left him alone, now he's stuck back where he was. And so now he's kind of like doing like all the hiding stuff. Because Curare went after Max, clearly realized that Max wasn't a threat and Max wasn't anyone to worry about. So she doesn't kill Max, which do we feel like Curare would give a shit? Like would she care enough? Like, is there honor among assassins, or would she have just killed Max because she was there?
Yeah, I think she would have just killed Max. Yeah,
all right.
Well, you can't kill Max. You can't
kill Max. So
yeah, you can't kill Max. So I mean, but then you can maybe have the argument that since Curare is now hunting down assassins and she got, she was being hunted, that she maybe grew a little bit of a heart. Maybe. I don't know. If you want to just really, if you want to
stretch
it, if you want to defend it, you could say, you could put that argument out there, I guess. I don't know. But we're crotchety old men, so we're saying fuck that. Kill her. No, I'm just kidding. No, we love Max. Don't worry. We're glad she didn't die. So of course Max is fine because of all that. But then it was funny because this is where we get that line because she's like Terry on this, and then of course he has to get back to Butha, and then he's like he turns back and goes, "Don't call me Terry," because it's interesting
because he doesn't. She's expecting him to like tear her a new one this entire
Yeah.
time. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, you just went through some scary shit. I think you learned the lesson.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
he very pointedly is like, but Max, don't call me Terry.
There is kind of like I mean, again, like the fact that there's no Bruce Wayne in here. So now there's like kind of like a little shift of like, oh, Terry's almost playing the Bruce Wayne role, I guess you could say.
Well, because Terry is Batman.
Yeah.
Let's establish Terry is Batman.
Because what I do like about that is like this is the first time we point out because Max is expecting Terry to be upset. But Terry's like, no, I'm just glad you're okay. And I think you already went through a bunch of shit where I don't have to do that.
Right.
Which is really
I don't have to make you feel bad.
Yes, because you are already scared out of your ass right now. So, but then he just, makes a point like, hey, by the way, don't call me by my name. And please, we got to keep things discreet. And she was like, oh shit, that's right. So then of course he leaves, and then of course Kirare shows up where Buta is, and they have a little showdown. And sadly, what happens? Yeah. And then, of course, he has a detonator. It flies off, and it goes off, and like it's always like so funny because it like flies off. It doesn't quite like make it under the bush, but it's like underneath. It's like on the grass.
Yeah.
So then when you have like the paramedics and the cops there, they don't quite see it. But of course, they show that he's all bah, and he's like, oh yeah, he's cooked, he's whatever. But
I like it what Terry said. He's broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But of course, Terry was there in, stealth mode, cloaked, and he finds the detonator and he's like, ah, shit. And then, of course, he's just like, you hear like the guys say that. And of course, they do that thing, cut to commercial where Terry's got the shot, like the look on his face, like, what's going to happen? We have nobody that can turn the bomb off, kind of thing. Dun, 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 So, and then, of course, yeah, he's talking to Max, saying that he's broccoli. He's cooked broccoli. You say cooked broccoli?
You just said broccoli. He's broccoli.
Okay. Broccoli.
I like it was a cool way of saying he's a vegetable,
Yeah. And then this is what I like too, because we see Terry, of course, playing the more authoritative role, and the more like the teacher role is because Max is just in that whole thing where she's like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. And blaming herself. And Terry's like, stop it. Now you just got to stop blaming yourself. And now you got to use your strengths to figure out how we're going to solve this problem.
Right.
Yeah. So he's like, just knock it off. Here, have the device, look at it. And then of course
you're a tech person. You're a genius.
And then they do that tropey thing where the fucking people who made the thing, their logo is on it. That's kind of a tropey thing too, a little bit. There's it reminds me of like Minority Report. And they're like, where do you get this equipment? And then they look at the keyboard and they find like, and they find out like who's so-and-so, and then they go visit him. It's a little bit of a tropey thing, but it's just one of those things. You move the story forward. It's fine. So naturally she figures out.
I love how you could just do a Google search for the serial number and then like, oh yeah, here's the.
Yeah, there it is. But it does get a little bit more technical. And I love how Max busts Terry's balls about not paying attention to math class and stuff like that, where she's like, she figures out, the company and how they do their things and how you could, come up with a radius of like where the device was activated. And then of course she triangulates where it could be. But of course there's a lot of things. And then of course, this is where the cash card comes in. And then she of course scans that where, he made 2 purchases and basically leads it to the fact that it's at the Gotham Museum of Armament. And what better place to put a bomb than and then she even says, what better place to put a bomb where there's already weapons?
I know, in a building full of weapons.
Yeah, why not put it right there? So yeah, so we get like a cool little, like I said, I do like these moments right here because it's
this is Max. This is Max getting to do her thing. She's like, okay, the device has a 2-mile radius. Okay, so we know that he activated it here. He probably activated it here, and he probably did something at his hotel room. Yes. So if you do 2 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles, there's a Venn diagram of, here's the place where all these radii, intersect.
Yeah, it's a cool little and then of course they get to that Gotham Museum. And Terry has like a little scanner in his bat suit where he could find some like heat, a heat source or whatever.
No, it's a transmitter.
Transmitter. Sorry.
It detects devices putting off
their
transmission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emissions for that. Okay. And then of course, he finds like some guards like transmitter that, and then I love how Max is like, well, at least we know it works. It's like, yeah, that is true. That is true. But of course, they're searching around. And then this is where we're going to jump in, of course.
Of course, because then it becomes action.
Action, where Curare, she shows up. And
only took you 50 minutes, but thank you.
I know, just like last time. And, she shows up and there's going to be a whole little showdown while Max has to find the bomb without using a device and everything. But yes. And then we see that shadow. I love that shadow. Hey, she said Batman.
She did say Batman. I paid very close attention to that.
Yeah.
Oh. Keep looking.
Keep looking.
Oh man, nothing like a little pressure.
This is a good scene right here because there's a lot of things that are happening, and Max has some close calls throughout the scene.
Including you. Or don't you care?
Don't you care?
I'll take that as a no.
It's kind of funny at that moment. I also realized, Curare never speaks either.
Yeah, she never says anything.
No, she doesn't have a voice.
No. You hear that? That's all you hear.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Which there is a credited voice for Curare, so I'm going to guess.
Is there? There got to be something, right? I feel like Max almost just. Yeah. Oh.
Smashy.
So cool, I love that right there. Battering.
Oh, watch this shot coming up.
This is hopeless.
Hold on, this one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, good shot.
Definitely used some 3D animation there, like computer generation out there for like a quick second. You can tell the way the background is moving around.
Yeah. Falling bomb. Then I love how it's hidden in the little boy.
Which was an actual,
that's an actual like term for the little boy.
Yeah, that was what they dropped on Nagasaki, I believe.
And then right here, she's like, you got to do that whole thing. What do you do? Oh my god. Wedding.
I don't know.
Also, Max has like this crisis of confidence.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because like you said.
And then she says, slack it. You know how they like cover up their cuss words?
Yeah,
she said, slack it. And then she just
I love the catapult. I love that.
Yeah.
Boom.
But I like she just ripped it out, and it kind of like went,
Can we go home now?
Good. It's not one of those cut the red wire, cut the green wire. It was just rip it out of the freaking power source.
How do you do it?
Do what?
This hero thing.
It's easier for me.
Easier for me.
No. How do you save the world and not tell anybody?
Yeah.
I can tell you.
I like this scene because this is like kids going, yeah, big superheroes are fun.
Yeah. And there we go. Happy little ending right there.
You know what? And I forgot that, like, you literally never hear, Bruce literally never shows up in this entire episode.
There is nothing, not at all. Kind of makes you wonder, like, when it comes to all that, like, I mean, they were like, okay, we're going to contract certain people for, I mean, obviously Terry has got to be in every single freaking episode, but was there like something when it came to Conroy where it's like, okay, we're only going to have you, because obviously he probably, got the bigger paycheck because he's Kevin Conroy. Yeah. But I'm just wondering if there was something with that where they were like, okay, we're going to have some episodes, I don't know. I don't know how it all works.
I don't either, because it's kind of like, remember how we were talking about the Superman the Animated Series where we go whole episodes going, where's Lois?
Yeah. There's stuff like that too. I mean, I'm sure there's like, I mean, we always hear about shows that have to, hey, we only had enough budget for this. I mean, famously, Vince Gilligan talks about the Fly episode of Breaking Bad.
Oh, the bottle, right? Because I remember you didn't know what a bottle episode was.
Yeah, I didn't know what a bottle episode was, but they talked about how they didn't have a budget for so they had to make something so small and so they wrote that episode, the bottle episode, to just kind of accommodate that, and it ended up being one of the best Breaking Bad
episodes ever.
Yeah.
Have you watched Pluribus yet?
I have not watched it yet. I know you told me, you said the first 2 episodes are great. Yeah, no, I've been seeing good word of mouth out there. People are really enjoying, but I still have not watched it. I gotta fire up the Apple TV, which is code for I gotta get my mom's password. All right, I just turned into Patrick Warburton right there. Yeah, I gotta get my mom's password. All right, Patrick Warburton. Anyways, so there you go. There is Final Cut right there. A fun episode, a Bruce-less episode, a progressing of Max episode, a returning character. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of like, okay, she returned, but it wasn't like a huge impact. But it
did not develop her character forward any. No,
it did not do that, but still an enjoyable episode.
Yes.
Still very much. But what do we got next week?
Next week. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Oh, we're going back to Superman. That's right.
Going back to Superman.
Finale. I was like, what are you hinting at? Oh yeah, duh. We're going back to Metropolis. Oh boy.
Guys, it is the time for we're going back for the 2-part series finale of Superman the Animated Series. You didn't think we'd forgotten that we hadn't watched the last 2 episodes, did you?
No, we still got, totally. Yeah, that's right. We're going back, and then, we're going to finish up Superman the Animated, and then we'll be right back here, and for Batman Beyond after these 2 episodes. But crazy.
Yeah. So, because it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Make sure you go check out season 3, episode 12. It's the 53rd episode of Superman the Animated Series. It's called Legacy Part 1.
Legacy Part 1. Ooh. Looking forward to, going back to Metropolis for sure. So,
but because I'll say this next week, but you got to remember that the last episode of Superman the Animated Series we watched was the Demon Reborn, the Ra's al Ghul episode. That aired in September 18th of 1999. Legacy Part 1 didn't air until February 5th, 2000. So that's why it's been this long since we've discussed Superman, because it's been that long. Like, there was that big of a gap between episodes.
That is crazy, but looking forward to revisiting this because I'm trying to remember fully what it was. And I'm like, we've been so Batman Beyond that I'm just like, I'm not even like, I didn't look, I haven't. Yeah, well, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So check that out, guys. We'll be back live next week. Hopefully you guys had a good time with this. Scott, what do you got to promote?
Well, fuck, I've been watching a lot of movies. So
yeah, you have. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So follow me on X at ScottDC27, on Vero at Scott McClellan, and dear God, follow my letterbox, Scott McClellan at ScottDC27. I saw 2 movies last Thursday, a movie Saturday, a movie Sunday, a movie last night on Monday, and I'm planning to see movies tomorrow night on Wednesday, and then The Running Man on Thursday. So I've seen Predator Badlands, Christie, Die My Love. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein finally opened at a theater the same day it dropped on Netflix. So instead of watching it Netflix, I drove to a movie theater and I watched it last night in a movie theater. And then Wednesday night, while y'all are, watching the stream, if I'm cognizant enough, I might go see Sarah's Oil. And then, of course, Thursday night, I got my tickets to go see The Running Man in IMAX. So just all those reviews, all of that stuff. You want to see my reactions? You want to know what I'm watching? You better be following me, because November is crazy. And the fact that I just went 5 days, 5 movies. Whoa. Yeah.
It's a lot of movies. Yeah. So check that out. I'll be seeing The Running Man also this week. So my first reaction will be posted on the channel naturally. And
I've got a hot take, man.
oh, you got a hot take?
The trailer's already better than the book.
The trailers. Wait, say that again?
The trailer for the movie is already better than the book was.
Interesting. Okay. Because I mean, it seems like the book you have to, extend it, and it's probably not as exciting, I'm guessing.
I'm gonna save some stuff because I am planning on being on the Vodka stream this Friday.
Yeah, that's right. You are going to be on the Vodka, so
and you said that we talk about the Running Man, so so this is a tease. Tune in to hear what Scott has to say about the Running Man, especially since I just finished the book 2 days ago.
So we're gonna get. So we'll get. Not only will we get it compared to the book, but we can also compare it to the, obviously the Arnie movie,
which I have never seen.
What? You gotta watch it.
Oh no! You interrupted me. You
are because you're gonna have some downtime. So
I'm gonna have some downtime for the next couple of days as I'm recovering from my surgery, and it's streaming on Paramount Plus. So it's in my watch list, and I am taking now. I finished the book, so now sometime in the next couple of days while I'm at home, I'm going to watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man before I go see the new Running Man.
There you go. And all I'll say about that is, over here, Christmas tree. You'll see what that means.
Oh, God. Okay.
Anyways, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll have some awesome Running Man talk. I'm very curious to get Scott's take to comparing it to not just the book, but also to the Arnie version. I can go ahead
and tell you that I feel like it's Edgar Wright. I just feel like he's going to win.
I know he's one of my all-time favorites. I think there's a little bit of bias that's already going to go in. I think we can immediately say that, but we'd still try to, be critics in our own regards, even though we love the director and everything. So I still want to go in like, hey, I still want to like critique this, but yeah, there's going to be a little bit of like, he hasn't made a bad movie. He hasn't made a bad movie. I'm just saying, I love all those movies. So, so look forward to that.
He made a bad movie. You're right.
He doesn't. He hasn't. Huh?
No.
There's not a bad Edgar Wright movie. There's really, I can't know.
No.
Not even a weak one, to be honest. I like some more than others.
Yeah.
But there's not like, I wouldn't say none of them are weak. They're strong movies. And so anyways, all right. So look forward to that. Look forward to discussion on the Vox stream. Hopefully you guys will tune into that and check out our reviews, follow all of our stuff, subscribe to the channel. Do all the things, guys, and we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week live back in Metropolis. And, we will talk to you guys later.